But then you see UCB, and what's your thought when you see the UCB?
Just like mind blown. It was in this tiny theater, 4 other people in the audience.
Really?
Very small. I saw, I guess the first thing I'm guessing it was a Herald, and it was a team that had like Billy Merritt on it and Sean Conroy and this guy Mike Delaney who teaches in New York and is still there, and Mike's wife who was great. And then after that show was, and I watched that being like, what the fuck is this? And then after that show was over, the UCB came out and they did sketches, and many of which I saw later on the show.
Yeah,
like they did the one where Besser is a pot dealer who won't let his customers leave because he's talking so much.
Yeah.
Like I remember them doing that and a couple of others. And then I kept going to see the shows. And then Amy approached me and asked me if I was interested in classes and if I wanted to participate in this like workshop they were doing for ladies.
Oh, cool.
And Tina Fey ran that.
Oh, wow.
And she had just moved to New York from Chicago to start at SNL.
Damn.
And that was super cool.
I bet.
Yeah.
It was just an improv class or sketch or
it
what?
was an improv class, and it was all women.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry for time, man. We're not even getting to the good stuff.
We're fine.
It was an improv class.
Still under an hour.
It was an improv class for women.
Yeah.
That we just did scenes, and I had no real improv experience at this point, but I said, yeah, I can do it. And we did scenes, but I realized like when I got there, maybe I should have been honest, because I was aware that I wasn't following certain rules.
Yeah.
And then the last hour, everybody sat around in a circle and we had like a rap session where people talked about their frustrations working as ladies in comedy.
Oh, cool.
And I'd already signed up for level 1 at UCB.
Yeah.
Hadn't started yet, but like based on what these women were saying, I was like, there's problems. There are problems between men and women in comedy. And so I was steeled for it when I started taking class, but I never had a problem.
Oh, great.
Like in class. I never had the issues that they were having, I never had.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I was older and maybe a little scarier.
You're not scary.
A little, maybe. If you're 22, a little. If you're, a little bit, Mike.
I disagree. You're nothing but warm.
Well, that's nice, but I can be scary.
I don't believe it. You're giving me eyes now. Those are more like romantic eyes, I think, than scary eyes.
No. That's the problem. They don't read that as romantic. Read that as fear.
So you started taking classes, and basically you were all in at UCB.
Mm-hmm. And this was really early in the game. I started taking classes and loved it. Ian taught my 101.
Ian Roberts.
Ian Roberts taught my 101, and in that 101 was Ari Vukitis, who's now here in L.A.
Yep.
Chad Carter, who used to be here in L.A., is back in New York, and a very few other fine folks. And then Amy Poehler taught my 201. Wow. And that was amazing. And I stayed with Amy for 301, and then I took Besser.
That's incredible.
And it took Amy several times. I took Besser several times. I took Ian twice. I took Walshy once. And while what
were they charging for classes back then?
I can't remember, but it wasn't much. Like when
it sounds like you took a lot of classes. I
did. When UCB Sunset opened, like when I went there for the first time, like it was so moving, and it was amazing to me because I remember when they had like their first intern, if we want to call her an intern, they had this lady helping them that would like collect the checks. And it's like they have gone from having Celia collect checks to this like Mecca. Behemoth.
Yeah.
And that's amazing to me.
It's an American dream.
Complete American dream.
Were you picking this stuff up right away? Were you like getting it? Was it making sense to you? Were you a standout student? Okay.
I don't know that I was a standout student. Like I knew how to act. So like not everybody knew how to act.
Right.
Like a lot of like young guys who are really into comedy aren't good actors. So I understood how to commit and how to be in the moment.
Yeah.
And
that's a big part.
I had a harder time grasping onto like how to formulate a premise,
Sure,
and how to and like looking for those moments of inspiration.
Right.
Like that took me a little longer. And the thing that helped me get better at that was just choosing to observe.
Yeah.
And seeing shows. Like I tell students all the time now, I'm always amazed when people take class and they don't see shows. And I'm like, that's the number one thing you have to do to get better.
Absolutely.
Like it's
your lab.
That is it. You know, like that's, if you want to get better at this, see shows. And yeah, that just blows my mind when people don't take advantage of that opportunity when you have a card that allows you to get into shows for free.
Yeah. So you're taking classes at UCB. Are you now starting to branch out and get acting auditions or anything like this?
Through that, and I did the UCB TV show.
Oh,
yeah, like I'm in the background on several UCB TV shows.
Yeah,
and then I got a part on one of the
union
shows.
Gig?
No, and I was not in the union yet. And then I started getting Conan. And,
from how?
Through the casting director from the UCB show, then moved over to Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so I started doing bits on that
That's
show.
a good get.
And then I had to join AFTRA.
Because of the Conan.
Yeah.